Yup.
What's going on? What's going on? Pop up Kings, man. We doing it again for y'all, man. Couple days before training camp, and we're gonna keep our training camp battles going, and we're gonna take it to the trenches this time, and we're gonna talk offensive line, man, and a lot of it cut and dry. So since it's cut and dry with the offensive line, we can also do the interior of the defensive line. So we going in the trenches, we going all in, and trust me, everything is not cut and dry as it seems in some positions because things change, and if people perform, guess what? They find a way to get on the 53-man roster. But I feel like a couple of these offensive linemen or defensive linemen on both sides of the ball,
Yes,
somebody's
sir.
going to land on practice squad, and the Falcons could be in danger of losing a couple of these guys. But before I get started, man, you know what to do.
Hey man, what's going on, everybody? Y'all come on in, come on in. We about to do this once again. Getting closer to training camp. Training camp is when? This week, this Saturday, it begins. It has begun. The
2 days.
countdown. The countdown going into training camp, man. These battles is going to be great. And man, you can call us. You know how we pop up and do these shows. Just go ahead and just call us Jack in the Box, man. Go ahead and pop up with two shows.
StreamYard, not already, man. What's today? Mathematics. Bellows World.
Y'all
Today,
always
mathematics.
hate on me, but it's all good because I come back
Man,
and right back into it. Say what's
that's what
today's
I'm saying.
mathematics, man. Man, hey, again, we're talking about two different lines, offensive, defensive. We're going to get into it, man. And this show right here is what I call nasty as a snotty nose because we're gonna be in the trenches today, baby, getting dirty.
Yeah, you got to stay in the trenches, man, because the games are won in the trenches. And I feel like the Falcon made enough moves in this offseason to keep things going and continue. And I'm tell you, man, and I know we made a lot of moves. Love the quarterback we have, and Penix love the running backs and Robinson and Algier. But I still think the offensive line is going to be the strength of this team. Why? Dwayne Lefford has done a hell of a job the last couple of years since he's been here.
Good
Even
old,
when Arthur Smith was coach.
good old.
Um, because if you look at it, the zone blocking scheme, the
Mm-hmm.
West Coast offense, and whatever else they're going to run, you got to have versatile, skilled offensive linemen. And I think the Falcons have kept building on that strength. So look for
Really.
big season from Michael Penix and B. John Robinson. And this offensive line is going to be the reason why. But
So you
if you
mean
want to
to tell
talk
me?
about, go ahead, go ahead.
I was about to ask you. So you mean to tell me? Do you feel like this is a season going into training camp to where the Falcons do not need to sign another veteran on the line? They can just grow with the guys they have.
I absolutely feel they can because I'm gonna let y'all look at the depth chart in a second. But I feel like since they cemented all of their starters, I think Ryan Nuzell was the last part of the puzzle. We
Mm-hmm.
talk about All Pro Chris Lindstrom. You talk about Falcons legend now in Jake Matthews. Talking about Bergeron, who's slowly becoming one of the better guards in the league. And the crazy thing is, him and Lindstrom can end up being the top two guards in the league, and they play on the same offensive line. How crazy is that? So when you look at that aspect, along with Caleb McGarry, it's possibly being his last season in Atlanta, and that all depends on how Jack Nelson transitioned to the NFL. But I honestly think Jack Nelson coming out of offensive line, you is what I call him at Wisconsin.
Right.
I feel like he can come in and transition right away, especially with a strong offensive coach in Dwayne Lefford. So I feel like this offensive line is solidified. All they have to do is produce. So they can produce, everything will be in line.
Right.
Georgia, Texas, boy, what's good, my dude?
Right,
Yeah,
man.
he
Yeah,
said,
Jack Nelson is actually interesting because, and I'm gonna ask a question a little bit later on about Jack Nelson, but you guys, like you said, man, coming out of offensive line, you in Wisconsin. Honestly, man, this is a strong technical guy. I feel like the only reason why he did not go higher than the seventh round is because he was battling a few injuries. I know he even said it himself in his interviews. He was battling an injury, then he came back, got hurt again. Missed him sometimes, some significant time. So it hurt him going into the draft process, and I believe that's
right.
another reason why he went into the seventh round. So I'm thinking we got a gem. Now, of course, he's not day one starter or anything like that. He still needs development, as you know, so most young guys do with transitioning to the NFL. But I believe he
Right.
could be groomed, possibly. You never know, as either a Caleb McGarry replacement or a Jake Matthews replacement down the line. But my question, okay, I'm now since I just said that, let me just ask you guys, the chat and everybody, do you guys feel like Jack Nelson could be a future left tackle or right tackle?
That's a great question,
Right,
man.
because I
You
know
got to
because
ask yourself because mm,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I want
yeah,
Bergeron
I
to
mean, but
stay.
Berger, but absolutely, and that's what I was about to say, man. I think Bergeron actually is in the perfect spot where he belongs because, as I see it, if you think about Caleb McGarry, who's in the last year of his 3 year deal,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to find his number. No, he actually has one more year. Well, no, this is last year.
Yeah, yeah,
His
yeah.
contract number for this year is 16.5. So Caleb
Right
McGarry making 16.5, which is still cheap. Knowing that
for the
the Falcons
tackles.
could have him, yeah, among the tackle. And then the crazy thing is he's 16.5. That's actually kind of cheap because if you look at what Trey Smith just made, Trey Smith damn near doubled that. So
It's wild out
great
here,
work
but
by Terry Fontenot. And I think McGarry signed 3 years, about 37 million somewhere in there. I know it wasn't much, but I think yeah, with these young guys. But let me go and pull the depth chart up right quick.
yeah, so everybody can
So
see what we looking
this is the
at.
depth chart. So when you look at the left tackle position, we know Jake Matthews. You look at right tackle Caleb McGarry, who's in the
Right,
last year of his deal, which I think, and you made a great point about the future of that position. So I could see Jack Nelson on that side, but the big question is, with the way the game is played and Michael Penix being a left-handed quarterback, that would
hmm
be his blind side. Is Jack
right.
Nelson quick enough? Is he mobile enough to stay on track with Michael Penix? Because I talked to Keenan Ford and did an interview with him, and he talked about how tough it was to block for Michael Vick, who was mobile. Just
Right.
imagine if Michael Penix actually gets to the point where he uses his legs just a little bit more than usual. You got to have an athletic guy there. And Jack Nelson,
Right.
we know from Wisconsin and what they're bred to do. We know he's good in the run game, but how good can he transition as a pass blocker? And that's going to
Well,
be
my
key.
my thing is he's a developmental guy right now. He's just a develop. When you
Right.
think about him on the roster, it's developmental roster guy. You know what I'm saying? When
So,
you think
so
about it, he's gonna still need to adjust to NFL speed. He's gonna have to make sure his has consistency at his pad level. So if
right.
that's one knock that he did have. So you think about it, he still has development that he has to go through, but he could be the replacement for Jake Matthews. I think more so than maybe like more so than Caleb McGarry because Jake Matthews still has a little bit in the tank. I think
Correct.
I believe the Falcons are going to squeeze as much out of that lemon as they possibly can, just because he's been durable. He's been an Iron Man. He knows the Falcons. He knows the system. He knows how to play the game. And it's going to be a little bit less pressure off of him because he's going to be on, on the other side of Michael Penix. So it's on Caleb McGarry now. Can he step up? Can he be that guy to protect the blind side? So it's a little bit less pressure on him too. He's getting longer in the tooth, of course, but of course you know how those Matthew boys do.
Yeah, and Matt Gary, man, y'all got to think he started 93 games for the Falcons. That's nothing to sneeze at. When you talk about being durable, even though he has his lapses at times, he's probably
Yeah,
one of the most durable offensive linemen in the entire NFL. Him and Jake Matthews.
better believe
So
it.
if McGarry, depending on how McGarry plays this year, with what transpired during a contract year a couple of years ago, they could possibly bring McGarry back on the same type deal, team friendly deal, and just keep rolling with what they have and use Jack Nelson as a rotational guy, depending on how he develops. So it's not all bad when you talk about having depth at certain position, but who wouldn't want the same five guys every single year that they know
of
what you're
course.
getting and they're on the same page.
But you know
So
that's tough.
you know,
That's tough to do that.
yeah, it's tough.
That's nearly
Absolutely.
impossible to do that for as long. I mean, you've seen some offensive lines that have been able to stay together, but you even see the Chiefs' offensive line. They had to trade some guys. They don't have some kind of like musical chairs around there lately, so or going on lately outside of like certain spots. But they had to trade some guys. You know, no offensive line can stay together forever. But real quick before I get into it, yes, I want to say I know you did a video on this yesterday, but myself, my condolences to the family of Malcolm Jamal Warner. It just that whole situation just and the comments that people just say about, oh, if you can't swim, what I'm saying, don't go into this and don't go into that. It
Just
just
ignorant.
it's just ignorant, and it lets me know that you really haven't been into water like that. The thing about it is, whether you can swim or not, if a current is strong enough and takes you, that's it. Okay, you can't
Yeah,
do
ain't nothing
nothing
you can do.
with that water. So for those people who are being ignorant like that and being straight a-holes, like I'm saying, that like that's the problem that we have out here. So like my condolences to his family, and we just recently, just like a few, like within the last hour, have lost Ozzy Osbourne. It's an absolute rock legend. He just gave a performance as well recently, and now you really got to look at it as a farewell performance. He was battling health issues, and it was
Parkinson's
reported
disease.
that
Yeah, man. Look, I'm telling y'all, life is not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not promised. So love who you love today, because again, tomorrow not promised, and things happen. But
yeah. Yeah, they said he died
yeah,
around
but
family though, so a bunch of love. So I mean,
oh
that's
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
people.
yeah, 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 no
Yeah,
doubt,
so
man.
R.I.P. to Malcolm
Go,
Jamal Warner and
going back
Ozzy.
to that, going back to those ignorant comments you were talking about. This shows you how much people really know. You can drown off a teaspoon of damn water. Think about that. And to get out in the ocean where it's billions of gallons of water, uh, and you to say that you shouldn't get in the water if you can't swim. I can't swim, but I still get in the swimming pool. So to tell
Damn,
somebody that they can't do something because of something, that's just like you going to the you going to ride a bike in the park, and you just tell people they can't come to the park. They don't know how to ride a bike. Get the hell out of here with that.
that's
But you got
retarded.
to be, stop being insensitive, man. That's all I have to say. Just stop being insensitive, because at the
That's
end of the day, it's ignorance. So,
um,
rest
but
rest in peace to those guys. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'll just say, but yeah, definitely rest in peace to those guys. But to pick it back up, right there at Caleb McGarry, if McGarry struggles at the beginning of the season with Michael Penix, what I'm saying, of course, covering that blind side. Do you see him being benched? I ask this because you do have Storm Norton, who's waiting in the wings behind him. Now, Storm Norton, of course, is not the starter, but of course, we know he's been capable. And you also look at it outside of Storm Norton. You also have guys like Jack Nelson, who we just talked about. Now, Storm Norton, we know that he's more fleet of foot than Caleb McGarry. We know that he can play left tackle in a pinch, but mostly he is there for right tackle. Not He's a serviceable guy, not necessarily the most explosive, but he could still be serviceable again for the Atlanta Falcons if Caleb McGarry ends up struggling. Would you go Storm Norton, or would you take the chance if he's doing well in training camp and has showed he possibly could do it? Would you go with Jack Nelson if McGarry was to struggle?
I think they'll do what they did last year. To be honest, I don't think they would risk Jack Nelson stopping his growth. Even
Mm-hmm.
if he's ready, I think he'll still be a rotational piece. Um,
Right.
they'll do
Because
like they did
because you
last year,
know
man. When he's struggling on his side to pass protect against these speed rushers, we know he's going to do. I think
I know what
they
he's
put Charlie. I still think they lined Charlie One up on that side to help him, and they
right.
see how well it worked, especially on short yardage downs, goal line, things of that nature. So I think they keep rolling with that plan, because I think what he brings to the run game is too pivotal to just bring him out because he's struggling on one area. You hope he refines himself, get it together as the game goes on, but you can't risk losing what he brings to the run game. And what he brings to the run game, a big 6'6",
He's a mauler.
335-pound offensive lineman. That's a freight train,
He's a
a freight
mauler.
train running downhill. I I don't think you risk that, man. So if he struggles, I just think they do what they did last year and give him help. And Charlie Warner, one of the better blocking tight ends in the league. So that's just how I think they would handle it. But Mario said Tyron Matthew just retired, and I'm not surprised because um, he's getting up in age. He had lost a step, and you saw it last year. He's been around for a while, so hopefully, he got the best out of his career, and he had a pretty solid career. So a lot of players, about 3, 4 players have retired in the last 2 days. Somebody else retired today too, as well. Um, I have to look at it and see, but somebody else retired today as well. Uh, what's up, Miss Carey?
Hey, what's going on? Whoa, really? that's that's crazy. Are you for real? Like we
Yeah,
talking about like Honey Badger, Tyron Matthew? Is that who we're
yeah. I
talking
think I
about?
think him going back home. I think he going. I think going back home. That's who it was. Lorenzo Carter.
Yeah,
He also
Lorenzo.
retired
Hey,
today.
I seen that he retired, but he got the whole farming thing. He got a
Yeah, he
few
got
other.
the farming business, so he fine.
But yeah, I'm like, hold on. She said Tyron Matthew announced his retirement. Is that for real? Like, cause if that's facts, then I'm finna go have a shot. I said for everybody in the chat, I'm finna go ahead and have me some of this Terramana. Now I've been chilling on it. I've been chilling on it, but I ain't gonna lie. If he's retired on the Saints going into this season with the Saints cap situation, roster situation the way it is, and he retires, oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I gotta go have a shot.
Yeah, RJ just sent it to me. So when RJ sent it to you, you know it's official.
I'll be back.
Yeah, that's right. Uh, Philip Rivers retired as well. And the crazy thing about it, I thought Philip Rivers had retired
I'm,
already because
I'm a cute
um,
professional for now, but y'all know what I'm doing
Philip
after the show.
Rivers Philip Rivers hadn't played in 5 years, so him retiring wasn't a surprise. Um, but Tyron Matthew, you saw it last year. He had lost a step, and he did have a great career, Vontae. I agree with that. But honestly, it was just time. And as an NFL player, you got to know. And one person, even though he's still young, um, I think Will Levitt's career is slowly winding down because
Bro,
after the year he had last year, now you have a shoulder injury and you're going to miss the rest of the year. When he comes back, where will he go? It just reminds me of a Jake Locker type move when Jake Locker retired out the blue. I think you see the same for Will Levis. I hate to say that, but I hope he comes back, continues NFL career because he's still young. But we know busted shoulders, man, they can end your career faster than anything. Your shoulder can end your career before your knee can. Just think
right,
about that.
right, right,
Yeah,
right, right.
I didn't know Philip Rivers hadn't retired
No, I
because he.
mean,
And the
I
crazy
knew,
thing, Philip Rivers.
I
Oh,
knew he didn't retire. But well, first of all, I ain't gonna lie. Phillip Rivers, like I used to like Phillip Rivers. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was one of those guys that didn't get the whole like Eli treatment and all the stuff like that. I understand, but Phillip Rivers is a good football player. I knew I never seen him just say have that official retirement thing. You know what I'm saying? Like no letter, no commercial, no nothing. I never seen anything from Phillip. It was just and remember, it was like a season or two ago, wasn't it? Like around the same time when they were trying to figure out whether they were going to get Matt Ryan or bring Phillip Rivers back or something
right.
like that around in that time in 21. So, he was still kind of on the market like 21, 22. I never saw it, but it still surprised the heck out of me to see it. It almost brought it back to you like, dang, you didn't retire yet? But yeah, Phillip Rivers is finally gone. Tyron Matthew, I make jokes and stuff like that, but that's only because he's a Saint. At the end of the day, that man had an excellent career. Would have loved to have him in a Falcon uniform at
Yeah,
any
and
his ability
yeah,
alone.
him going back home playing for the Saints. I think with his Swan call,
Swan
he
song.
kind of he kind of hit it on his last year. His last year been his last year, because he just didn't know where he fit anymore. He gave some good years in Kansas City, Arizona. He had some very solid years. So when you look at the Saints now, man, them, rookie quarterback losing Derek Carr to retirement. Um,
Mm.
shit, Tyron Matthew just retired. Cam Jordan might be next. The
He
Saints may
might
be
be.
rebuilding for the next 5 years. Who knows?
This could be Cam Jordan's
So
last season. Seriously, at least 1 or 2 more seasons for him, maybe.
yeah.
And
But
then, like I
let's
said,
get back to this offensive line, man.
yeah. Let's get back to our
Uh,
team,
go
the
ahead. Go ahead.
Atlanta
Right,
Falcons.
cool. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, I was about to say, man. So, okay, look,
But
Smith. Let's keep it real here. Our locks really are Matthews, Bergeron, Ryan Newziel, of course, Chris Lindstrom, of course, Caleb McGarry. That's the starters. We already talked about Jack Nelson. I have, you have. So we can just go ahead and say that's a rookie stash. That's a lock. That's 6 guys right there. Let's get into like the guys that aren't necessarily a lot. We already start kind of touching on Storm Norton. He's in that list of guys who are not necessarily a lock. I think, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, he's kind of like on the bubble more closer to it than away from it, I think. But these other guys, everybody's not going to make it. So who do you have making our offensive line? How many, just like I asked you before, how many offensive linemen do you think that we're keeping? Let's get into that.
That's a good question, man.
Hmm?
If I look at the offensive linemen, but before I get into that, man, before I get into that, I just
Okay.
want to speak on Ryan Nuzio right quick. I know a lot of
Okay.
people criticize him because he was the fill-in last year for Dahlman, and they wanted Dahlman back, which I get it because Dahlman had turned into one of the better centers in the league, probably top three. But when you talking about a $14 million contract, the Falcons couldn't afford it. But Ryan Nuzil stepped in last year as a replacement, played very well, and you think about what he does as a veteran as well. I think he'll fill in just fine. But when you talk about the backup, that is the intriguing part to me, and that's where I'm going to start with the backups. Like you said, the top five, the 5 stars, they solid. But this backup center is what intrigues me. Javon Gwynn, a couple of years with the Falcons, practice squad guy. Kane got called up a couple of times, but really didn't get many snaps. You talk about Matthew Cindric, undrafted free agent. And then you talk about Michael Gonzalez, another undrafted free agent who they signed. But the advantage that Michael Gonzalez has over those 2 guys, he played for Dwayne Leffert at Louisville, so he knows what to expect. He knows to run blocking scheme. So all those guys on the Atlanta Falcons, a lot of them are versatile. Elijah Wilkins, Joshua Gray, the rookie. Storm Norton can play guard or tackle. Brandon Parker is an outright tackle. And Jordan Williams from Georgia Tech, Mammoth guy. I think he could vouch for a roster spot on the practice squad. But your thoughts right quick on the backups.
Mm, to be honest with you, I think Brandon Parker is out. I say Brandon Parker because if I look at who I want to keep between Parker and Storm Norton, both of those guys are swing tackles. If I'm gonna have to choose between the two of those, I'm keeping Norton. I've already seen exactly what Norton have can give me in a pinch, so that's why I'm definitely going to give him the nod, especially if it's kind of like coming down to like they're being neck and neck and no significant strides by Brandon Parker. Yeah, I'm keeping Norton. Elijah Wilkinson, he can play multiple positions. He's versatile, like you said. So I can possibly see him staying around. I'm thinking we're gonna keep about maybe like maybe 8 to 9 guys. I'm thinking about 9 guys at least. And we've already okay. So Storm Norton would be technically 7 for me. Elijah Wilkinson 8. Man, that's tough. Okay, so I'm going to go with Gwen over Hinton only by a little bit though. That could easily change. That's kind of like a flex. And then like for a practice squad, I can say probably Joshua Gray, somebody that can play center, somebody can play guard. Keep him in kind of like in the stash to have
What's
him
up,
do
big bro?
what's good, family. Have him going through his development stages, similar to how you probably may have Jack Nelson go through. Both of those guys, well, undrafted free agents was Joshua Gray, but have him, him and Jack Nelson try to kind of polish those guys right there because those guys possibly could be your future. Possibly. We
Agreed.
never know. So okay, who would you
Agreed.
keep,
Now,
Jordan or
one thing
Parker?
that you talked about Elijah Wilkinson. Ooh, man. I think I'd keep Brandon Parker because he has the most starts between the two.
Mm,
And he's a little bit younger. But one name to keep an eye on is Joshua Gray. Joshua Gray is the key to all of this. Because if Joshua Gray pans out as a guard, I think Elijah Wilkinson gets the axe. And I hate to say that. And it could work out this way too. If Joshua Gray gets to play, get to stay on the 53-man roster, Elijah Wilson, Elijah Wilkinson can both overtake Storm Norton and Brandon Parker because he also has more starts than those guys. You got to remember, Elijah Wilkinson was a solid starter with the Falcons about 3 years ago before injuries kicked in. So he knows these guys pretty well and he played with them. So his familiarity with the offensive line already gives him a pull over all of these guys on the offensive line. So if I had to say my biggest sleeper on this offensive line, would be Elijah Wilkinson if he can stay healthy. If he can stay
mm.
healthy, I think he's a lot for this offensive line because we already know what he brings to the table.
I mean, he is a veteran. He has been here before. It's like I feel like the organization itself likes Elijah Wilkinson and what he could bring. That Joshua Gray, that is interesting. Now he's been known to be a little bit undersized. I'm not sure if you're worried about his size, but at the end of the day, um, he still has to
Now,
gain more strength, I believe, for NFL level, bringing that transition. It's a good player, but you think about it, he like for what we're gonna need in the quarterback that we have, he can move fluently, and he fits that wide zone scheme well, man. So it's all about
right.
that fit. That's what it's all about. So that's gonna be interesting. I don't know if he's actually gonna make the 53, but I can definitely see the practice squad for him for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you talk about undersized. Um, honestly, undersized really to me, it's just what it is. I mean, if you got the heart to play the position, that's all you need. So I mean, like Javon Gwynn, he's undersized as well, and we've talked about this for a couple of years. Ryan Nuzell is really not the biggest guy, but he has the heart to play the position. Michael Gonzalez is another one undersized. So I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. If they have the heart to play the position, I think they'll be fine. And one guy we're not bringing up is Kyle Hinton, who's another big body guy. I think he's about 6'4", 6'5", about 320 pounds. And if y'all remember that name sound familiar, his dad Chris played for the Falcons back in the early '90s. So he has pedigree as an offensive lineman. So when you talk about depth, uh, this can go so many ways. And I agree, Joshua Gray could be one of those guys to sneak everybody. And it's crazy. Two of these offensive linemen, both of their dads, well, two of these guys, fathers played in the NFL. And Tyrone Wheatley Jr., whose father Tyrone Wheatley was a running back, and got to give y'all that history lesson. And Kyle Hinton, dad Chris Hinton, was an offensive lineman in the NFL. So a lot of NFL pedigree on this offensive line. But which way do you think um, they will swing it if, um, say, push come to shove, if they had to make a tough decision? Which one would be the toughest cut?
Mm, but hold on. Oh, so the toughest cut between whom now? Or like whom all are we
M
talking
Dub,
about?
what's up, my guy?
What's good, family? Say Jake
Oh
Matthews'
yeah,
dad.
Jake Matthews' dad, Bruce Matthews as well. My
Yeah,
bad,
Bruce
my bad,
Matthews.
Vontae. You right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that pretty much go. Yeah, pretty much go without saying, but I just didn't add it because I figured y'all know that already.
Okay, so react to the question like exactly.
Uh,
Can you hear me? Am I stream yarding?
yeah, I hear you. Go ahead. Yeah,
Oh
you
no,
good. Go ahead.
no. I was like, so repeat the question for me.
Oh, my bad. If you had to make a tough cut between these offensive linemen, who you think would be the toughest cut?
Out of the starters?
No, out of the bench players.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, the toughest. I don't necessarily be honest with you. I don't necessarily see a tough cut. if out of the guys that we already talk about being a lock necessarily, I don't necessarily see a tough cut. I think any one of these guys, if they don't live up to their potential or live up to be, what I'm saying, what the Falcons need them to be, any one of them can go. So, including Storm Norton, even
Right.
though I like Storm Norton and I would choose him, me personally, over Brandon Parker. I understand the age and I understand your point about that, and the starts. That's important too. But it's just like again for what the Falcons need to do, and I've seen him in a pinch, and Storm Norton has performed. He's been serviceable. You know what I'm saying? Is he starter? Is he starter ready? No, he's been a serviceable backup. Elijah Wilkinson, veteran guard, can play tackle as well. Well, so again, any one of these guys, even if Joshua Gray or Centric, even if either one of these guys step up, I can see anybody gone. I don't think none of those guys have a safe job. I think everybody's going to have to perform, and there's no net now. The only hard cuts are on the starting offensive line. Outside of that, none of these guys are a tough cut to me. Some of these guys have been journeymen, so it's just like it's
Yeah.
not a tough cut for that.
Well, if I had to choose a tough cut, it probably would be Elijah Wilkinson because of his versatility. He can play
Yeah.
up and down the entire offensive line, and he's a veteran. And he knows, he knows what to do.
Right.
And that's why I said with him being knowledgeable of the game, being a veteran, and him teaching these guys that's playing the same position, I feel like that veteran leadership that he brings would probably be the most hurtful if the Falcons had to cut him. But they've done it before, and if they do it again, I wouldn't be surprised. But I still think that Elijah Wilkinson probably will be the Falcons' biggest cut. But we're gonna go ahead and get y'all the interior of the defensive line. You got
Yeah.
anything else to say before we move on?
Oh no, man. No, man. We can get right into it. I mean, we only talked about 30 minutes about the
Yeah, let's go
offensive
on.
line. So hey,
Stream
man,
yard.
can you hear me? Am I back?
Yeah, let's take a quick dive into the interior. Yeah, let's take a quick dive into the interior of the defensive line. Yeah, you back. You back.
Like my goodness, stream y'all. What I gotta do? I gotta dance for you.
Stream yard. They stream yard bad, man. I mean, Kerry said, Mickey Loomis says team was a little surprised by Tyrann Matthews' retirement. The team found out in the last few days. And I'm thinking he probably having health issues because, I mean, he's had a couple of injuries the last couple of years that made him miss significant time. But, like I said, he had a great career, and I pray he have a even better retirement. But we'll see how it play out. But Larry, what's up, my guy? Larry Dixon from the Dixon
What's
Way, man.
good?
Y'all please go check them out on YouTube, man. They do great game play-by-play analysis on each game. So check out Larry and Shonda Dixon, man. And Larry, we hope to see y'all Thursday, man.
Facts.
Missed y'all
Facts.
last time, but I don't think I'm gonna miss y'all this time.
Yeah, man.
Player
We're gonna
stats, what's up, my guy?
fun and have some fun.
What's up, Ron? You stupid, man.
What's good, Ron? What's good? Nah, man, I can't wait for training camp, bro. This is my first ever training camp, like ever.
What? What?
Yeah, I've never been to Flowery Branch or any of that. So I can't lie. I can't wait for Thursday. I can't wait for Saturday. I can't wait for any of the days I'm there. I'm trying to go to
I'm
joint
gonna,
practice as
I'm
well.
gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to watch Chris then, cause his ass might run out there on the field.
Man, I'm trying to tell you and tackle somebody and get
Hey,
escorted right
Larry,
on up out of
I'm gonna get that super early. I might leave home about 6:30.
there. I'm trying to
Yeah,
tell you, bro. And we got to get out there
yeah, I
early,
might
man.
leave home by 6:30, man.
Yeah, man. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
we
gonna
was
be
out
fun.
there early
Can't
last
wait.
time. Me, me and Country were cracking jokes, man. So I was out there early. Uh,
Right.
I walked up with the bullshit, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. Let's dive quick into this defense line. The interior edge rushers, the outside sector that out. But we're gonna look at the rest of the defensive line as far as interior. And the reason why I say interior because that's what the left defensive end, right defensive end, and nose tackle consist of. And you look at Morgan Fox, who was probably one of the more underrated signings this offseason. Has had a solid career in the NFL. They expect Root to take another step, Katavius Street has been solid. David Onyemata is the veteran leader among these guys. Zach Harris is going to his third season. His
Yes,
third
sir.
season. Can't believe it. He can play outside linebacker or inside, but they're using him more as a 3-4 end. Brandon Dorless, another guy who they think is taking big steps. Only played in one game, I think, last year. And Taquan Graham, who's been around for a while, who I think could be surprised. Well, not a surprise. Could be one of the veterans that cut, depending on how the young guys play. Lakel London has picked up weight, so he's going
Yeah.
to play more at the nose tackle position. I think he's up to about 325, 330. Then you look at Simeon Barrow Jr. out of Miami, who I said was a Grady Jarrett clone, guy that's very quick at the snap of the ball, point of attack, very strong lower body, can shoot gaps, and very solid against the run, and he can get after the quarterback. So Simeon Barrow is one of those guys that y'all should keep an eye on in training camp. But
Right.
with these interior linemen, what guy jumps out at you the most, and which one do you think needs to have the biggest impact for the Falcons this year?
Mm, that's tough. I want to say, I want to, first of all, Zach Harrison, that's a guy that I still believe in, with the great length and power that he has. I mean, he's going to need to show just a little bit more speed to power more consistently. I know what five technique where he may end up being. I believe that this guy can be an anchor, though, and possibly could get some sacks, man. That's where I want him at, so he can be able to get some sacks. I think this guy disrupts and he really reestablishes the line, a new line of scrimmage when he is able to go. So that's a guy that I'm looking at. But it's hard not to be rooting for a guy that I have watched a little bit of his tape, plan on watching a little bit more. But Simeon Barrow, man, he's undrafted free agent out of Miami. He's twitchy. He's considered undersized, of course, but again, he's twitchy. He's a natural gap shooter, with that burst. I've also seen the fact that, just from playing, he has to adjust to NFL physicality, but he's already kind of there, already transitioning. I believe this guy right here, if you don't have him on the 53, you got to stash this guy because you can't let him go to somebody else and then they unlock his potential and then you're playing against them. Also, you got to think about this. Ruka Roro. I'm expecting Ruka Roro to take another step too. What can we say that Ruka is going to be playing anywhere from the 1, 3, and some of the 5 possibly? Just to see exactly his get off.
Yeah, I can see that. I can absolutely see that.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
that's another guy I'm looking at too. But the guy out of all these guys that I'm looking for something is somebody, because you know how Terry Fontenot does. He like to draft to stash. And so this guy, he was stashed last year. Brandon Dorless, 4th round rookie draft pick. So he has that pass rush juice. Remember, he was versatile back in Oregon. 3
Right.
technique, 5 technique, played some edge. You moved him all up and down the line. Oregon did, and he
Man,
had some.
you slapping the microphone. You trying to get in.
Man, I'm in head slapping mode, man. I'm talking. We in the trenches. I told you, man. We getting dirty today. We
Let's get
getting
your
dirty
head up,
today,
slap the
man.
microphone.
Right, man. But honestly,
Uh,
this is the guy who I'm wondering if he can steal reps from the guy that we opened up with, and that's Morgan Fox, because he is the veteran. So I'm wondering if he can take those strides and show what he's shown at Oregon, show that he can generate that pressure, being one of the top defensive pressures in the old NCAA. So it's just like I'm ready to see what these guys are going to do. What kind of sub packages are we going to use, and who we're going to use in them? So it's going to be interesting, man. I really am excited about some of these guys, like seriously. And I feel like
yeah.
honestly, this is tougher than the offensive line is trying to figure out. To me,
Yeah, I mean it's tough because you got expectation for a lot of these players. And like you said, with Aurora, I feel like he's gonna have to take the biggest jump because you taking over for Falcon legend and Grady Jarrett. And I agree, Dan. He must blossom this season. He has credit Nate Ollie with his growth, but we'll see what he's learned. But if you go back to that Baltimore Ravens preseason game, he showed exactly why the Falcons moved up, take him in the second round. You talk about a guy with raw athleticism, a guy with a strong lower body, a guy that can who has great pursuit once he breaks the line. But and he's a solid run defender. But I think the biggest guy that I think also has to take another jump is probably Brandon Dorless, another guy that's was a pass rushing threat in college, and as we talked about, he had one of the highest pass rush win rates of anybody than anybody in his draft class as far as defensive interior lineman. So I think he has to take a step. Then I look at David Onyemata, who's the leader of these young guys. If David Onyemata can show these guys how to take their game to the next level along with Nate Ollie, I think the Falcons will be okay when it comes to pass rush. Because as I told y'all, if these guys can collapse the pocket just a little bit or just enough for these much faster edge rushers that they have, this could be a 50 sack unit. So yeah, I mean David Onyemata, he's going to be key. But I think those two rookies that they drafted last year are probably going to be bigger than anything that they have to overcome because of what they have to replace. Harrison and Dorless on my radar for this season. Absolutely. Zach Harrison, man, coming out of Ohio State. They played him inside and out last year, which I think was a mistake. He could have played more as a stand-up zero technique as a linebacker, but I guess they feel like his size was needed on the interior of the line. So I mean, that's the way they used it. But with these interior linemen, as I look at them, is James Robinson the best run in Atlanta? Did you hear me? Man, StreamYard bad today.
Oh, okay, there we go. All right, am I here? We're gonna get through this show whether
Yeah,
Stream y'all wanted to or not, darn it.
yeah, StreamYard
Nah, but what you were saying
bad
now?
today, bro. Man. StreamYard today, man. God damn.
Let me see. Okay, all
Uh,
right. What about now?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this for a second until it catches itself back up. But all right. So ask the question again, please, and then I got a question for you.
Do you think this Taquan Brown's last run in Atlanta?
Oh, absolutely. If he doesn't produce in training camp, he could be cut too. I ain't gonna lie to you. TQ got. I mean, I still go back to TQ back in 2022 with Dean Pease. That was the best year we had for TQ, and he got injured that year, unfortunately. Now he's going to have to come back and show that he's fully healthy. Come back and show that he's able to fill the gaps, get the concept of the defensive coordinator scheme, and he's got to show that he can do it. Because again, that's a guy that's on the bubble. You got guys like you said before, Lakel London. He's gained weight. You got guys like Simeon Burrow. I've already talked about him. You got then you also have what's my man Katavius Street, who honestly I didn't expect to stay around as long as he has. But I mean, honestly, you see why he's been around for depth. And when he does get in there, he plays mean. He tries to get after it. At one point in time, for about 2 weeks, I know Katavius Street was like one of our best defensive linemen. Hey, you take that for what it is. It happened, but so that's another guy too. But honestly, for me, let me ask you this: is this the best depth that the Falcons have seen on the D line in years?
Hmm, that's a great question.
Same
Uh,
for y'all. Same thing for y'all. Chat. Answer
I
that
would have to
question.
say yes. I
Okay.
would have to say yes. This is best depth they done had, on the interior of the line, probably in about 5 or 6 years. And that was in Great Jared's earlier years. That's when they had guys like Rasheed Hageman, Don Terry Poe, and those guys. But Keith Sweat, man, we're not talking about Braden Trice. We talked about Braden Trice on a previous episode, man. Please go check that out.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
you
we
missed that.
talking
Yeah,
interior line.
nah,
Yeah,
Braylon Trice.
Zion
Oh
Lowe got
no,
cut last off season, and
nah,
he
he got
actually
picked up. Remember, he got picked up when he was
yeah
on the practice squad, and then somebody scooped him up, and then he ended up getting cut
yeah
from
the
there.
Bills the Bills the Bills picked him up, I think.
Right.
So you know, as I look at it, man, I just think Taquan Graham, like you said, he had his best season a couple of years ago. But his best attribute is playing the run. I feel like they have enough on this roster already against the run. So I think that in itself hurts him because he's not a solidified pass rusher. So I feel like a guy like Simeon Barrow or Kentavious Street can take his spot. Like you said, Morgan Fox, like I said, one of the most underrated pickups this all season. He could absolutely bring more punch to this defensive line. It's just, how are they going to use him? So if
Right.
they play more of a hybrid 4-3, a couple of these guys could play outside. But if they do switch to a more of a 4-3 hybrid, you can see David Onyemata and Rook in most of the time with Brandon Dorless and Kentavious Street rotating in. So this
I got
defensive interior defensive line is not it's not is very inexperienced. But when you look at the athletic and the productive upside that it could bring, with a Nate Ollie who's known for getting the best out of his defensive linemen and knowing how to rotate them in and out the game, I think a lot of these guys are going to have a big impact. But go ahead.
right, man. And I'm looking at it too. But as I'm thinking about it, it's going to be when you think it's going to be Graham versus Street. I don't think both stay. I've Morgan Fox, Anyamata, Zach Harrison, Rook, Dorless. That's kind of like right at those five is kind of like where I just say lock. Contavious, what's good? One time for the fan. Jack Spade in the house. Hey
StreamYard
man.
still StreamYard, man. So
Oh
y'all
God.
be patient with us.
Yeah, man. Jack Spade in the house, man. Shout out to One Time for the Fan, man. We're gonna be doing some things on Thursday, on
Jack,
Saturday.
what's up, my guy?
Y'all come out. And make sure y'all come out and fellowship with your fellow Falcon fans and Falcon
Yeah,
favorites.
I won't I won't make it to the Saturday. I won't make it to the Saturday practice. I didn't get tickets to the Saturday
Uh,
practice, so I probably won't be there.
this we line them up, so we
Yeah,
having content
yeah, line
creator
them up. I
tryouts
want to.
afterwards. That's funny. Said Street ain't
You
going
got
nowhere, in
jokes.
my opinion. Well, that means Graham is gone because I don't believe that we're going to keep both of them. It'd be
Hey,
surprised if we keep both of them to me. But just because, okay, listen,
and
yeah,
y'all,
walk with me on this.
go
You know
ahead.
what I'm saying? Walk with me on this one because you look at it.
Yeah,
If Simeon Barrow can cause any kind of disruption at all, and if Dorless and Rook look like they are ready to be those guys, it's going to have to start being some of these other rotational journeyman veterans that are going to get cut. Now, I like Katavius Street over TQ Graham, me personally. If we're asking me right now, cut somebody between these two, I'm cutting Graham over Street. But I really would like to see if Simeon Barrow could really just overtake guys like Laquel London, which is not going to be hard to do. He's just a big body. Barrow is the better athlete. TQ Graham, what are you going to be able to do after having injuries? You know, it's in riddle your career so far. Can you step up this training camp, or will you end up being out the door? Like it's competition, but again, outside of those five guys, family, I'm just like there's no lock with Street, Graham, London, or Barrow. If Burrow can do, yeah, see, TQ is on Jack Spade's cut list, and for good reason. Again, like injuries, man, injuries, and we have young guys that are ready to compete, like a Simeon Barrow. I really want Simeon Barrow on this team, and if he can prove what my excitement is so much for. Smitty, Jack said he got a ticket for you. Want to pull up now? But
hey, that what I'm talking about.
hey man, so you
Come
want
through
to
in the
pull up? So
clutch.
he got a ticket for you now. But yeah, I don't mean to, go on and on about it though. It just at the end of the day, outside of the five that I mentioned in the beginning of my ramble here, that's just my locks. Everything from street and the last three at the back are open.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I can't argue with that. Like you said, yeah, everything pretty much in the interior solidified. I think the only thing that they actually have to worry about is who's going to be the depth pieces. Because I think actually Michael Simeon Barrow, I think he's going to be a lock. I'm gonna just say it. He's going to be my lock, my surprise lock for this team, because I feel like he can overtake a lot of these veteran guys. The way he plays, what he brings to the scheme that we have as a pass rusher. I think he gives them added punch in the middle, and he can help them collapse the pocket just a little bit more. Yeah, Jack, 6 o'clock. That's kind of early. I don't know if I'm able to make that because of shit. I be just getting up. But I'm gonna leave early
Well,
Thursday
Saturday
morning.
practice. Saturday practice, but
Yeah,
they start at 9:30, and that's family and friends day. Man, you're gonna have to get up. Now the good thing is
they
it
be
is
up
kind of Saturday.
early.
Yeah, that's good. That's the good thing though. It's gonna be Saturday, and dang, it's a good and a bad thing because folks gonna be off work. A lot of them jokers gonna be trying to go to the Saturday practice. Hey, I'm gonna be there at 5, Jack. Five. God dang. And we got the content creator meet and greet afterwards as well. Y'all come out and fellowship with us as well, man. I'm gonna be in Buford. I already know Jack is gonna be promoting it more. Country's gonna be promoting it, I'm sure as well. I know Yuri posted it. I posted it on my story a couple days ago as well. So yeah, y'all come out and check us out. Nando says Simeon will take a
Facts.
lot of snaps
But
from
yeah,
you
man,
this season. I
I
hope so.
agree. I
I
agree.
want Barrow
100%.
on this team. I'm not playing. Like serious. If I have to cut TQ or Lakel for it to happen, I will do such. I'm telling you, man, that kid right there has a diesel motor engine, and he's ready to get after it. And I want those type of players on here. Yes, Diesel tap. Uh, yeah, just Diesel tap house on Saturday after practice. So yeah, that's where everyone will be meeting up. Rise up, man! Meet and greet time. I love these meet and greets, man. That's gonna be my third meet and greet. So I love doing these type of things and linking up with some of the people that we do podcasts with. Some of you guys that be coming through in the chat, man. It's all love,
Facts.
right, Christy? It
But
is
you know
gonna
what to do
be
before we get out of here, man?
yeah, nah,
StreamYard.
yeah, it's bad today, bro. I
So
don't know what's going
we got to cut it short, man, because I mean it's getting bad.
on. Nah, it's bad, bro.
But yeah,
I
man.
really.
Please tell the people where to find you, man.
Hey, man, you can definitely find me A1 Forever Sports. That is the platform on YouTube. Please come over, like, comment, and subscribe. Also, catch me on Twitter, A1 Forever, Instagram, A1 Forever, the real A1 Forever on TikTok. And last but not least, catch your boy on the Hawks Digest. And that is somewhere where me and Walter Pollard were growing the Hawks content. And hey, man, anywhere else, you just catch me when you see me.
Facts. Y'all know where to catch me, man. Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube. Y'all know how I do it, man. Again, I would not be on NFC South Roundtable. I had to move on, but y'all can still catch me on Twitter at FatBoySlim_21. And y'all know I'm on Twitter, always blowing it up, man, because that's what I do. Earn the money. You in San Domingo, we appreciate you, man. For always supporting us, man. Definitely appreciate you. Way over in San Domingo. Man, look, we try to bring you the best news we can, and we're gonna keep on doing that. But me and Chris will be back soon, man, because we got some things to talk about before training camp on Thursday, and we have a couple of more thoughts. And one thought that Ray McLeod gave all of us: are the Falcons a Super Bowl contending team? We're gonna let y'all know probably in a matter of 24 hours, because that's gonna be an interesting topic. But for my boy Chris, it's your boy Antoine Smith. We're gonna sign out. We're gonna holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.